Hello, Dr. Azanura. Our title of our group work is Difficulty Learning Adverbs Among Non-Native Speakers in Malaysia. We have 3 members in our group. First one is myself, Nisha Vasantha Gunasekaran, GA04171, and we have
Tim. Hi, my name is Kai Trishamugam and my matrix number is GA04168, and I have one more member to introduce, and Tim.
Hi doctor, my name is Tan Guo Heng and my metric number is GA04176.
As observed in a situation where English is a second language, acquiring adverb particles usage is challenging to non-native speakers and users, whether in foreign or Asian countries. It is because non-native speakers do not possess the mastery over the language, particularly in the use of adverb particles. However, the situation is more problematic in learning contexts where English language is the medium of interaction and use for the taught subjects at schools and colleges. Adverbs have many kinds of meanings and their grammar is quite complex. Regarding meaning, adverbs express ideas such as manner, time, and place. Adverbs are one of the least frequently used syntactic categories in the academic writing context, though they are among the most abundant word classes of all. Some other adverbs cannot be easily recognized by their form because they do not have a specific suffix. Besides that, they may modify almost any kind of construction in English, such as nouns, verbs, adjectives, other adverbs, and even whole sentences. This makes adverbs more difficult to teach, and as a consequence, learners have difficulty learning and using them correctly. Moving on, statement of the problem. There are numerous studies conducted on the way students use the English language in Malaysia that indicates the student's ability while using it. It can be said that learning English are attributed to the attitude towards the language, geographical location of the students, and their ethnicity. The Malay language has a rather large vocabulary of borrowed words from other languages. Some of them are borrowed from Sanskrit, Arabic, and of course English. There are studies on the structural difference between the Malay and English language as well. It has been shown that the separation on structural differences on these two languages interferes with the grammatical subject, while learning the English language hence the acquisition of the English as a second language. A student whose first language is Malay will have difficulty learning English as a second language, as it may present an array of difficulties to the students. The reason this happens is because some students learn English later in life as compared to Malay, where they learn it immediately after birth. Synonymous to this, they would have already owned a set of language habits that are hardwired into their brains. The problem in most cases is the misplacement of the adverbs. Thus, this research analyzes some of the ways students and teachers treat faulty sentences with adverbs placement errors while providing useful rules on how to overcome this problem. Besides that, the aim of this research is to identify and offer explanation in the difficulties of non-native speakers learning adverbs in the English language, specifically focusing on the grammatical aspect of English.
I'll be presenting on the factors that contribute to the problem. First, the main factor is
the possible explanation is the level of English proficiency and understanding of the learner. Majority of the students might not know the meaning of the words swift and loud. Therefore, it is difficult for them to apply IY marker.
And the second factor is
Adverb phrases have many different meanings. In the expression sit down, she is not up and come in, the words down, up, and in have no objects. They are adverbs and not prepositions. This shows that learners need to be aware of the rules.
the third factors will be
Non-native learners of English encounters many difficulties while distinguishing between adjectives and adverbs in Malay and English. The adverbs in Malay is not a true adverbs as it is basically an adjective which function as an adverb when used. Reduplication of an adjective, adverbalization. Jangan bicara keras-keras. Don't speak loudly. Keras is hard. Reduplication of a verb. Repetition or continuation of the action. Orang itu memukul-mukul.
It is therefore clear that Malay language and English language has different ways to indicate adverbs. These may lead to many problems in learning and teaching language. How? Let's find out. So, for this research, we did a survey on non-native English speakers in Malaysia. So basically there are two parts. Okay, it's two. Okay, part A and part B. Part A will be the social demographic part and part B will be the understanding on adverbs.
There were 14 questions in part B, understanding adverbs. And the first question was, which statement is the best to define adverbs? The three options were provided and 34 people voted for it. 8 describe or gives more information about a noun or a pronoun. And 16 people chose words that show a relationship in space or time or a logical relationship between two or more people, places, or things as answer. The correct answer was, it describes or gives more information about how, when, where, how much, or how well something is done. And there were 60 people answered correctly. The second question was, adverbs are the only form of an adjective plus ly. Is this statement true? 59 respondents answered correctly, which was no, but on the other hand, 59 respondents answered correctly, which was no. But on the other hand, there were 46.4% of respondents said yes, which is the wrong answer. In this case, we know that every user of English understands adverbs in details, and they might have problem on this topic. A statement was asked to determine the trueness. The statement was, we can put adverbs or adverb phrases at the front, in the middle, or at the end of a clause. 68.2% of the respondents got the correct answer, while 31.8% or equivalent to 35 respondents answered wrongly. After that, few simple adverb statements were asked. Questions 7. 72 respondents chose the answer correctly, that was, you start off slowly in the beginning, whereas 38 respondents answered wrongly, where they chose the statements, you start off in the beginning slowly, and both are correct. Questions 8. Respondents were asked to fill in the blank with the following options, which were certainly, mostly, and ever. The question was, she is the right person for the job. Most of the people answered correctly, and the correct answer was certainly. Question 9. Respondents were given 3 statements, which were, she plays really well the piano. I have heard her. She plays the piano really well. I have heard her. And both are correct. 86.4% of the respondents, or equivalent to 95 respondents, answered correctly, which was the second statement, meaning that there were only 50. Question 10. Another similar questions to question 9. 75 respondents voted for the statement, I received your email about the meeting late, and this was the correct statement. On the other hand, 31.9% of the respondents, or 35 respondents, answered wrongly, and they chose the statements "I received late your email about the meeting" and "both are correct." For questions 11, 4 statements were given and the respondents were asked to choose one or more than one answer. Surprisingly, most of the people did this question wrongly. Among the 4 statements, only one statement was correct, which was teaching an ESP course is really a rewarding experience because of the opportunities offered to teachers to address the students' needs and interests. Question 12. 4 statements were given again and the respondents were asked to choose one or more than one answer. Among the 4 statements, 2 statements were correct, which was errors need to be corrected always, especially those that are systematically repetitive, and errors always need to be corrected, especially those that are systematically repetitive. Question 12. 4 statements were given again and the respondents were asked to choose one or more than one answer. Among the 4 statements, 2 statements were correct, which was errors need to be corrected always, especially those that are systematically repetitive, and errors always need to be corrected, especially those that are systematic. After that, respondents were asked to give their opinions about what is the most dominant factor that contributes to the problem of positioning the adverbs. There were 47.3% of respondents, or 52 respondents, said that level of English proficient understanding was the main factor that contributes to the problem of positioning the adverbs. The influence of mother tongue was the least vital factor that contributes to the problem of positioning the adverbs in 20 respondents' point of views. 38 respondents said that ignorance of rules restrictions of English adverbs were the main dominant factor that contributes to the problem of positioning the adverbs. They were also asked to provide the best solution to solve the problem, but majority of them, which were 33 respondents, agree that comfortable learning environment to make learning adverbs more fun and exciting was the best way to solve this problem. The least effective solution was teachers should give opportunities for students to ask questions as this will improve their learning, and there were 11 respondents vote for this as a solution.
Teachers should be exposed to linguistic knowledge to better equip students in teaching the language. It is very important to provide a comfortable learning environment to make learning adverbs more fun and exciting. Teachers should allocate at least 2 hours per week to teaching grammar, provide grammatical explanation in both oral and written forms to differentiate the ways and rules applies. Teachers should give opportunities for students to ask questions as this will improve their learning. A detailed research on structural differences between the Malay and English language has been proven to be one of the major factors in students' inability to grasp the English language, especially in adverbs as reflected in the previous studies. With the problem now identified, perhaps it's timely now to suggest that English teachers should be exposed to linguistic knowledge to better equip them in teaching the language. In addition, attention should be also given to the conducive, comfortable learning environment to make learning English more fun and exciting, which in turn making learning more meaningful. All these factors back the attention of all parties involved in the effort of drive to improve students' acquisition of English language.